So I've been writing blogs for about 6 years. I started with my food blog, Places to Lunch. I have also done freelance copywriting for a wine blog. And more recently, I've done blogs for my e-commerce dried flower business, Miller Rose. Let's get started. The first thing you need to do when writing a blog post is research. I would always recommend finding a topic that you're really passionate about and something that you have some expertise in as well. So to choose a topic, with doing some research, I would get a pen and paper if you prefer that, or open a document on your computer, notes, whatever it is on your phone, and just write down anything that might come to mind around your niche. For dried flowers, I would just think about what people might want to know or what I wanted to know when I was first getting started. So, something along the lines of, where do you actually buy them from? What are dried flowers? What's the difference between dried flowers and fresh flowers? How long do dried flowers last? Is there any special maintenance or care that I need to provide for them? Personally, I would just open up a note on my phone and I would just write all of these dot points down. And after I've done some brainstorming, I then jump on to keyword research and seeing, is anyone searching for these topics? Who's ranking for them? Is this something I can write about for my blog post? The first thing I do when doing research for a new blog post is to jump onto Google and just type in a keyword that's relevant to your niche. So for this example, I'll be using my website that specializes in dried flowers.
I'm going to start with a really broad term to begin with, such as dried flowers. I'm then going to have a little look and see what appears for this term. So it's a very commercial based search intent, which means that everyone is looking to buy dried flowers when they search for this term, or that's what Google believes people are wanting to find. So what I usually look at to begin with is this box here, people also ask. And already you could use one of these to write a blog topic. You could use these as subheadings in your blog post. So just make sure it's relevant to the title of your blog post and you're not just stuffing them full of keywords such as these.
I wouldn't necessarily start with a how-to post for your first blog, especially if you're just starting out and you haven't really shown that you're an authority in your industry yet. The more you show to Google that you're an expert in your industry, and the more articles you write, the relevant experience you have, any qualifications, anything that Google becomes aware of, the higher your website will rank on Google. I would then jump into a how-to article once your credibility has been established. So you might not know what keyword research is. I'm going to run you through just some quick keyword research, how you might be able to find a topic for your blog post, and how to see how many people are actually searching for that topic per month. I would recommend choosing a topic that has a really low search volume to start with if you're just getting started writing blogs. So I would look at something with as little as 10 searches per month, up to maybe 100 or 150 searches per month. I would not be going for a keyword that has 200, 300, 400 plus searches per month, as the higher the search volume, the higher the competition, the trickier it'll be to rank for those keywords as you're just starting out. So Googling certain keywords is a great place to start, but you might not know how to find a keyword or how many people are searching for something that you're wanting to write about. There's some great tools that you can use, Ahrefs, SEMrush, Moz, or there's a Chrome extension called Keywords Everywhere, and I'll be going over 2 of these today and showing you exactly how to perform keyword research.
There are a few different tools you can use. I wouldn't just rely on using people also ask or people also search for that comes up on Google. I would actually look at using a keyword research tool. I found one that's just really user-friendly and easy to use and quite affordable is Keywords Everywhere. So Keywords Everywhere is just a Chrome extension. You can just add it to your Chrome. So I've got this here, so it's just appeared on my screen. Every time I search for something, it tells me the approximate search volume, the cost per click, which is just related to Google Ads, and the competition, so how competitive that topic is, essentially meaning how many different people have written on this keyword. So for how long do dried flowers last, there's 260 searches per month on average. That just pulls an average over 12 months. And the competition isn't actually too high. It goes up to 1, so it's not too bad, but I definitely wouldn't focus on that for your first blog. I would look at something that has as little as 10 searches per month. That might not sound like a lot, but you're wanting to try and rank this blog on the first page eventually. So I'm going to start by showing you how to do some really basic keyword research on Ahrefs. They have a free keyword generator. I set my country to Australia as that's where I am and that's what I'm trying to target for my blogs. I'm going to put in a broad term to begin with. So I'm going to start with dried flowers and find keywords and see what happens. So these are some of the keyword ideas it has come up with. There's a phrase match. So that's a keyword that includes dried flowers as a term. They have also provided questions, which is a great way to pick a blog topic. I would recommend focusing on the questions. So you can just go through, have a look at the questions and find something with a low volume. So the volume is just how many people search for it per month. It's just on average taken over 12 months. They just pull the average. So I would look for something that has, again, something as low as 10 or 20 searches per month. I wouldn't necessarily, as mentioned, start with a how-to, so I will just go down and find. So if I was going to use this to write an article, I would pick what to make with dried flowers. So it has around 10 searches per month. So I will just get that. I'll go over to Google and just pop it in and just see what comes up. So there's this website here. They have 10 uses for dried flowers. It has a people also ask section, so you can use this to create some subheadings. So what to make with dried flowers. There are the 10 uses for dried flowers that this article here has done. There's a people also ask section, so I'll come back to that later, but I'll use those as subheadings within my article. There is a BuzzFeed article, and now usually it might be really hard to outrank a website with such a high domain authority as BuzzFeed, but it might not be entirely relevant. And it's a really old, outdated article. So I definitely think you could come in and do something better.
Once you've performed your keyword research and you've found a topic for your blog post, I would then look at the search intent. So what is search intent? So search intent is the reason why a user will type a specific phrase or query into Google. It is really important to determine your search intent for the topic that you're going to write about. So it can help to answer someone's question or provide the best information to that user. So Google is essentially looking for the best websites, the best articles, best products to put in front of people. It's seeing if someone searches for a particular topic, what pages they go to. Are they going to someone who's providing an answer? Are they looking at images? Are they going to directly to a product? Google has put lots of effort into determining what users are searching for and matching up those relevant websites to their search query. So in my dried flower example, you would have seen that if you type in dried flowers, it wouldn't be a great blog post to write about. Aside from the fact that it has a really high search volume and really high competition, everyone that's ranking on the first page for dried flowers is selling a product. I'm not going to come along and write a blog called dried flowers because it's never going to rank on the first page and no one's going to read it. So the 4 different types of search intent: navigational intent. This is where users are wanting to find a particular website. So they already know what they're looking for. So they might already know your website and they're wanting to find that. So that's when they'll type in a navigational query. Informational, it's pretty self-explanatory, is where people are wanting to find more information on a topic. Commercial intent is where they are already aware of the query or the product, whatever it is, but they're wanting to do more research before actually going through and making a purchase. And transactional is where someone already knows that they're wanting to make a purchase and they might type in where to buy dried flowers or Miller Rose dried flowers. Or they might type in buy a pink dried flower arrangement. Make sure you research that search intent, see what users are searching for related to your keyword, to your topic. Have a look at what your competitors are writing. So that's all the people that are ranking on the first page of Google. I usually look at the top 3 or 4 results and use this as an idea of what they're writing about and what users are wanting to find when searching for that topic. This leads into the next tip, which is have a look at your competitors or have a look at what everyone else is doing. No, not to copy them, but just to see why their articles are ranking so well on Google. Again, having a look at the relevant search intent, seeing what Google is matching up with people's queries, and to see what they might not be doing. In some cases, especially if something has such a low search volume, there actually won't be the perfect article for it and Google will just find the next best thing. So what I've seen before is you'll type in a query, all the results that appear don't actually directly answer your question. They might be something similar, but it's not exact. So then you could come in and write an exact match for this query and hopefully rank in the first position for it. So you found your topic, you've figured out the search intent, you've had a look at the competition, and now you think you're ready to write your first blog post. So there are a few things you need to do to ensure it is great for SEO purposes. I do have a background in SEO, so these are just a few quick tips that I would recommend. So now I'm just going to go over how to structure your article, the best practices for SEO, as well as just a few tips, especially if your article is quite long. Pick out your headings and start by getting a document and writing down those headings, and then just writing a few dot points under each one in what you could talk about under each of those headings. These days you want really easy to read skimmable content, so I would actually break these up quite significantly. Sometimes I will have a paragraph that's just on one line. There's nothing worse than having huge chunks of text. No one wants to read that. You want to make it really user-friendly, really skimmable, really easy to read.
I'm just going to use this article I did back in August 2022. So it's just a really great way that it's been structured. It's really, really easy to read. The paragraphs aren't too long at all. You'll see there's occasionally just one sentence that will be on its own line. What I've done here is I've summarized the 8 benefits of dried flowers. I've actually written what they are. I've put them in bold. And this is just a way that I've answered the text so that Google can come through and hopefully rank you for a featured snippet. So this is a great way to structure your articles if you're wanting to rank for the #1 position on Google. In the second or third paragraph in your article, you can actually answer the query or summarize it, put it in bold, keep it really concise. Great relevant information, but keep it quite short. So I'm just going to show you what a featured snippet actually is. I'll pull up a incognito browser. I'll put in benefits of dried flowers, and you can see that my article actually ranks first for this. Google has pulled this excerpt from the blog and it has ranked it in the #1 position. So it believes that out of all the articles there is, this is the one that answers the user's query the best. So back to the structuring of the blog, I would also break up your text with a lot of images or infographics or any relevant media. This makes it a lot easier to read. This article actually does not have enough in there. I would look at a different article that's more broken up with pictures, such as this one here.
How long should your blog post be? I would recommend aiming for at least 1,000 words. You can go for as little as 500, but these days, if you're wanting to outrank those competitors and rank on the first page of Google or the search engine result pages, I would start with minimum 1,000 words. I know it may seem like a lot, like you're writing an entire essay, but once you get started, you use those subheadings, you answer the people also ask questions, you put in any relevant information that users might be looking for when they come across that topic. 1,000 words isn't really that long. So I would look at making each blog minimum 1,000 words to 1,500. If you're looking to outrank some pretty big competitors later on, I would look at doing articles as long as 2,000 words. Obviously, you would need to structure this really well. It would need to be broken up with lots of media, lots of subheadings. A lot of the time, users will read something as long as 1,500, 2,000, even more words, and they won't even have realized that they've read that long. Back to the structure of the article, what you want to also look at is adding in any relevant media. So whether that is an infographic that you create on a free tool such as Canva, but if you're needing some images that you can add but you don't actually have any that you've taken yourself, that is okay. There are some great stock images available. Once you've written your blog, you're wanting to choose a headline and also a title tag. Your headline or title of the blog post, it should include the keyword that you're talking about in the article. So in this case, what to do with dried flowers, and the article you saw, I wrote, what to do with dried flowers, 13 ideas for a rainy day. So obviously you can get a lot more imaginative and creative with your titles. I would recommend putting the keyword as close to the front as possible, but making sure it sounds really organic and natural, and making sure that it's no longer than 60 characters, not words, characters. So I would look at moz.com and just type in their title tag checker. It's just a free tool. It just gives you a preview of the title tag and how it will appear on Google. Another great tool that I use is Grammarly. It's a great tool that you can get as a browser extension, and it essentially is there to help correct your grammar, make sure there are no spelling mistakes, make sure you're using the correct punctuation. It is a tool that I cannot live without when doing blogs. Obviously, you're also wanting a platform where you can upload your blog. So if you haven't created a website before, I would recommend looking at WordPress. It is the best platform for blogging, and it really doesn't cost much to start. If you aren't sure how to start a blog on WordPress, there are some awesome, great tutorials, and I'll be posting a video about this soon, so keep an eye out for it. When you finish writing your blog, another thing to do is go through and add in any relevant internal and external links. It is really beneficial for SEO practices, but it's also going to help users come through and find any relevant supporting information or products. You would have seen internal and external linking in blog posts if you go through and you see any hyperlink, so any selection of text or website that's highlighted in blue, and if you hover over it, it'll come up with a website and you can click on that and it'll either take you to a completely separate website, a separate domain, or it'll take you to another page or product or something within that website that you're already on. So internal linking might be tricky at this stage while you haven't established your website and you haven't actually got any blog posts. So just leave those until a later date, but don't forget to come back to them as they are really important. So you might not know how many blog posts to actually write. I would start with something that's really achievable to you. If you are wanting to grow this into something that you monetize later on, I would look at doing a few blog posts per week, but to begin with, I would just look at doing around 2 per month, keeping them to 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 words each. The more you write, the easier it will get. Don't worry, you will get used to it. As you're just starting out with a blog, if you're watching this video and you're writing your first blog post, you don't need to worry about monetizing it yet, but just know that it is something you can definitely do. You can earn some really good money from it. There are a few different ways you can do it. My husband has a fitness blog that gets between 50 and 120,000 page views per month, and that's been monetized through ads and affiliate linking. So there's just a few ways you can monetize your blog, but again, don't worry about this until later on, and this can be a video for another day. I hope you found this helpful on how to write your first blog post and how to actually get started. I would love to know if you have your own blog or if it's something you're looking at doing. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Until next time, bye!